Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 11th episode of the TrueShot Guest Spot podcast. Today, we have on Bill D'Arcangelo, who is an artist manager for Modern Empire, which is and was a artist management company, but now it is now the new Stasic Recordings after Stasic Recordings has rebranded to Modern Empire. So in this episode, we talk about how he kind of got his start as an artist manager. Some of the bands that he's managing, and what it's like being an artist manager in this scene, and also this climate with all with the pandemic going on. At the very beginning of the podcast, we had some audio issues, so we come in with him talking about him being born in Maine, and just kind of who he is and whatnot. So there's really not a whole lot that we missed. There was only like a minute and a half of audio that got cut off. But I also noticed that Bill here, he had a little bit of fun before the podcast, so to speak. So yeah, it was an interesting podcast. It was a lot of good insight, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So without further ado, this is a solo episode, by the way, with me, Richard. No Adam on this one. But the next podcast, you'll be excited because we're going to have Michael Stringer, the guitar player for Spiritbox, on. But anyways, guys, that's enough chit-chat. Let's cut to the chase. This is Bill D'Arcangelo of Modern Empire.
Maybe I meant you.
So you said that you were born in Maine. Whereabouts in Maine? Because I'm in New Hampshire, so I'm right next to we're right next to Maine.
So I was born in Blue Hill, Maine.
Okay.
But that was just like where that was a place where my mom was stationed, like while she was in the military.
Right.
And she was like pregnant with me, like whatever. And so we just like moved around a lot, like when she was with my dad and like everything. So.
Because you were in the service as well, right? If I see from your Facebook, you were.
Yeah. I did a good 4 years in the Navy.
Yeah. So yeah, was that kind of a natural progression, like being part of like a military family? Was it kind of like a thing that you knew that you were going to eventually do, or did you kind of?
I mean, honestly, like, dude, I'll just like be super straight up. Like, I was really like on bad terms with my mom for a minute, and like I just like hated like everything that she was like saying to me. Like, I don't know, I was just like a shithead teenager.
Right. Oh, I got my cat over there making
I reached out to like some of my close friends and their parents. I was just like, hey, can I like stay with you? I don't want to live with my mom, blah, blah, blah. This is like when I was like 16 or 17. But I got to a point when I was living with my buddy Pat and sitting in his room, using his computer, like, fucking just like looking at stuff online. And I was like, maybe I should just like enlist in the military.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have some friends who did the same thing. They're just like, you know what? Why not? And yeah. So, okay. So you said that you were interested in either managing bands or doing a clothing line. Did you ever have any aspirations to like be in a band? Were you ever in a band, or what was it?
Never had any aspirations to play an instrument.
Really? Yeah. I don't play any instruments either. I just been yelling in the car for a long time, and I figured I might as well just try to do it in a band setting.
I've always just been like ingrained in like the business aspect of like music.
Right.
And that's what I've always been like attracted to. Like I think I got a guitar when I was like 14, and I was like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
This is too complicated. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, I got a guitar once, and I'm just sitting there with it, and I'm just like, why the hell did I buy this thing? Like, I have no idea what to do with this. But
dude, I could play "Smoke on the Water" and fucking like
that's literally
that
like the
one Black
first song I
Sabbath
tried.
song.
Yeah, just like anything that's super simple. But even like "Smoke on the Water," I'm like, oh my god! If I can't get it in like 2 seconds, I'm like, oh man! Like
it's literally just like power chords.
Yeah.
Like, but that's all I do. And like I remember one time my one of my good friends, Ben, back in the day, he was a big fucking stoner and like a drug addict, but like he was just like, yo, come over to my house. Like, I saw you just got a guitar. Like,
Mm,
I'm going to teach you all this. Like, dude, he's like an amazing guitar player, but like, he's just super fucking sketchy, you know?
yeah.
But he's sitting there with me. He's like, I'm going to teach you Smells Like Teen Spirit. I'm like trying to play it. I'm like, no, I just don't get it, dude.
Yeah. No, I just, yeah, man, I've always like, I've said that, you know, like if I could play the drums, that'd be cool, but it's just like the learning part is where I'm like, oh man, I really, but, you said you got your start.
No,
What'd you say? Sorry.
I was going to say, I just have mad respect for anyone listening here that plays drums.
Yeah.
Mad fucking respect to you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's what, it's like the
Like,
cool.
I try to like analyze, like, playing drums in my head. I'm like, dude, no, like, I can't do it.
I know it's such a cool instrument, but, so how did,
Caleb from I Set to Kill, like, he plays drums very fucking well.
yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, how do you do this? And he's just like, I don't know. I just do it. I'm like, wow.
Some
All
people's
right.
brains are just wired that way, man. It's crazy. It's just not anything that I could ever do. But so you said that you got your start back, and you said like '05. You said it with that Warp Tour. What did you mean by that? What did you like start doing?
Well,
To
I kind of got my start when I joined the military,
Oh,
actually.
really? Okay, interesting. How do those two things correlate?
So, like, I got like my injection of passion,
Hmm.
going to War 405.
Hmm.
But I think it came down to me being in the military.
Right.
I joined in like '08, I want to say.
Okay.
And, I was stationed in San Diego.
Hmm.
And I was just like really like bored. Like, I was like just really missing my friends back home.
Right.
Because, like, I was kind of like, like the little shithead, like, kid in the military, like, fuck the military, like, I want to go back home, blah, blah.
Right.
But then, like, on another side of my brain said to me, like, no, you need to make the best of this.
Hmm.
Like, you did this for a fucking reason,
Hmm.
for fucking health insurance and fucking,
Right.
constant money and, like, just doing a good thing for your country, like, blah, blah. But I started just going to shows in San Diego.
Hmm.
And I started just like networking. I was just like talking to people. Like, I think like one of the earliest shows that I went to in San Diego was like a Skylight Drive in like Vale of Maya,
Oh, wow.
maybe.
Okay.
I just like remember talking to a Skylight Drive like one night in like 2008.
Wow.
I'm like, I told him straight. I was like, hey, I'm just like a fucking military guy. But I love your music. Like, I've followed you guys for like so long. Like,
Yeah.
let me get your number. Like, let's keep in touch, more so. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, all the guys on Skylit were like super stoked on that. It was like, oh yeah, like keep in touch with me. Like, I don't know. It was just weird. And then I met this band called Adestria.
Okay, I've heard that name. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Listen to their album Chapters on Spotify.
Okay.
It is the greatest metalcore album I have ever heard.
Oh, word. Okay. Well, if it's metalcore,
I
I'll,
will
I'll, I'll
stand
be,
by that
I'll be
forever.
all down with that. Yeah, no, I'll have to definitely. I've definitely heard the name. Yeah, like I said though, I don't think I've ever really heard anything by him though.
Shout out to Nick Sampson for producing. He's fucking amazing, and he does all of Dropout Kings stuff. So,
Oh, word.
um, but yeah, Adestria kind of took me under their wing, and we just, partied a bunch and talked, and they
Mhm.
introduced me to a lot of people in the industry, and I don't know, man. It's just you gotta kind of put yourself out there to just, further yourself in the industry. That's
Yeah.
literally all it is.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
not I mean, it is about connections, but at the same time, it's about you like putting yourself first,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
just putting yourself out there and talking to these people. And like, even if they say fuck off, like whatever,
Right. Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, you got to definitely, you got to put yourself
it
out
is.
there.
Like I've gotten a lot of fuck off conversations, like in the past few months, but whatever. Like I'm still grinding. Like I'm still good.
Yeah, it's just it's about how much you
My
get up, you know. Yeah.
my hands are doing fine. So
Yeah. So, how did you the first band you ever managed? How did that come about, and what made them, kind of say, "Yeah, you can manage us," even though you had never managed a band prior to that?
so I would say like Dropout Kings was probably the first band I ever truly managed.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow. Okay.
Because like I've toyed with bands like in the past, but like never like nothing ever like came to fruition or anything. Like it
Mm,
was just bullshit, like whatever. But I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit right now, but like I used to work for another management company, and I Dropout Kings wanted to come on
mm,
through this management company, and some things were said and some disagreements happened,
mm.
but the band initially like they just like fucking wanted me to be their fucking true manager and not the other guy.
Okay.
So I was like that kind of like put me in like a weird place because at that time I didn't have a platform
Mm.
to really market my own brand.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it was like literally like build the Archangelo management.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause yeah.
So, but I did like I hit up Mike Milford, from Stay Sick,
Mm.
and he's been a good friend of mine for like the last 5 or 6 years.
Oh, word. Okay.
I hit him up. I was just like, "Hey, man, I'm going through a lot of shit right now with like this management company. I would really love if you could possibly, take me on,
Yeah.
under Empire." And he goes, "Yeah, let me think about it for a little bit, and like I'll let you know." I was like, "Okay, cool." And then one of my really good friends, Billy, who
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know about Billy?
yeah, I know of him. Yeah, he was affiliated with Stasic too, correct?
Yeah, yeah, he's
Yeah.
still affiliated,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he works for me too with Sex Panther. I don't know if I've like told you about that brand, but
No, 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 I haven't. No, you haven't told me
we'll
about that.
we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but yeah, Billy hit me up one night. He was just like, "Dude, I'm so drunk, but I just like told Mike that you want to work for him for the label." He's like, "I'm putting in a really good fucking word for you." I was like, "Dude, thank you." But yeah, so I guess like going back to Sex Panther, it's a platform that my best friend started back in the day, like probably like 6 years ago.
Mhm.
And so it's like a texting and calling platform for adult stars to
Oh
connect
wow.
with their fans.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So how long has that
Yeah,
been
and we're
going on
doing
for? Yeah.
well. We're doing really fucking well. Like we're clearing like probably like 20 million this year.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That is doing pretty well.
We're fucking building like every single year, and we're doing it like super like bootstrappy. Like
Mhm.
it's just me working with him and maybe like two other people.
That's awesome. So when you come to Modern Empire, how does that work? So like does a manager like when they take you on as a person to be like an artist manager, do they pay you kind of like a salary, or are you just in the pool and then you get, affiliated with bands and you get paid that way, or
No, like I'll like explain the situation, like
yeah, yeah.
how it went down with Mike. Like
Yeah.
so with Sex Panther, like we threw a party at the Palms in Vegas back in January,
Okay.
and there's like a ton of porn stars there, like whatever, and we brought the Attila guys there, and like Mike was there,
Mhm.
and Mike just like kind of came up to me, and he was just like, "Hey man, when do you want your Modern Empire email set up?" I was like drunk as shit. I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's awesome.
So, I mean, honestly, I think it's just based on connections, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean that I what a setting there. You know, you're in Vegas at this party, and then he asks you. It's like out of a movie.
Dude, it literally was a fucking movie
Yeah,
when I got that conversation with him
yeah.
because, oh my God. I mean, do you want me to fucking go into
Go
this?
ahead, dude. Whatever you want to say, go
Oh,
for it.
we fucking did this. We did the same party back in 2019 at the
Okay,
same fucking penthouse,
all right.
Palms. But we did it again in 2020, and dude, I'm just like trying to like fucking. It was fucking insane. Like you had to have been there, but like there's people fucking like in the fucking living room while a live DJ was playing.
Serious, wow, that dude. That's like a life that
Like,
I'm just like a dad over here, dude. So like, this is a life that I like can only live
bro,
vicariously
I
through.
was I was tasked with like being like like the mediator of like the whole party.
Yeah.
So I was drinking, but like I was like being very aware of like everything going on, around.
Mhm.
And so like I saw people fucking in the living room, like, people just like, all crowded in like the fucking kitchen, like trying to get drinks, like, Franz and Rocky Emerson were like, being like the guest bartenders.
Oh wow.
And then we had like our private room, back, through the penthouse,
Right.
but all these people are trying to get back there. And there's like, hey, can I use this bathroom back there? I'm just like, nah, you can't. And so I would walk back there, and like Mike and his wife is back there, and like Levi and Sydney and Franz, like all these people are just fucking back there. I was just like, what the hell is going on right now?
Wow. That is quite that is literally like a movie. I mean that is
Oh, it was crazy, man, because I was trying to like drink that night to like have a good time and like decompress from like the entire week because AVN is like an entire week
okay, yeah.
stuff. Like we're posted at like the Hard Rock at in Vegas,
Mm,
and we have to handle our fucking parties and just everything coming at us.
right.
And I'm not going to talk about this like over a call, but
Yeah.
we went through some shit during the AVN week that was pretty fucking bad for our business,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay.
we figured it out. It's all good now.
That's
But
good.
at that time, I was just like, I just want to go. I just want to go back to Arizona. Like, just take me back.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, man. Yeah, that's wild. So with modern Empire, like is that a management company that is affiliated with just a certain label, or are they kind of like just like a management company in general, or how does that dynamic work?
So Modern Empire has turned into no. So it used to be like a management company,
Mhm.
and once Mike dissolved Stay Sick,
Yeah.
it turned into an artist development group.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's like all it is. So like basically like if I have a band
Right.
and that doesn't necessarily fit on like the Modern Empire trajectory,
Right.
um, Mike will say, yeah, I'll just like plug them into distribution
Oh, okay.
with
Okay.
Increase and Universal. So
Interesting. Okay, so before was Modern Empire kind of like the hub for the managers for the bands on Stay Sick?
yeah, like Modern Empire was like more of like a management company at the
Right.
time,
Right.
but it all kind of like tied in with like Stay Sick.
Okay. So
But
for
Mike is like kind of like merging all of it together and just making it one like big like collective group.
I gotcha. Okay. So yeah, so was the dynamic before kind of like, you have however many managers that are working for Mike at Modern Empire and they kind of like assign you bands, or do you pick the bands, or I know that Dropout Kings was a later addition to Stay Sick, but
So the thing with Dropout Kings, when I was involved with like that old management company,
mhm.
um, my old boss from that like hit me up and he's like, "Yo, Dropout Kings wants us to like rep him." I'm like, "Okay, I'll talk to him."
Mhm.
And I actually like struck it off with Adam like pretty hard, the
Yeah,
vocalist from the band,
yeah.
and he kind of felt my vibes like pretty hard, and like I felt him like pretty hard too.
Mhm.
But then it got to a point where we were doing the record with Cameron Mizell,
Okay.
and I mean, he even like openly admitted like he was like, "Dude, these mixes are not good." Blah blah.
Oh, that's never a good sign.
You were like openly saying to him like, "Dude, these mixes suck." Like, dude, like we just want to take this to another fucking producer.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was cool about it, but my old boss was like really mad about it, and he was like jumping down my throat. And then eventually it came to him saying, "Yeah, you can just like manage them on your own, but whatever, it's
Mhm.
business." I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine."
Yeah.
So I made the decision to break off from that brand and go with Dropout Kings.
Yeah, so
And I told Adam and Stage and like all those dudes on the phone, I was like, "I hope you know that I fucking literally just like ruined my fucking music career by going with you guys."
yeah, no pressure on
Not
them,
really,
right? Yeah.
but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
I could
So,
have like compromised it. That's what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Well, I mean, you kind of, yeah, exactly. That's a good word for it, compromises. So, do you manage any other bands besides them, or is it really just them?
Yeah. And so like, what I was gonna say is
Yeah.
like, because of that, because of the success of Dropout Kings, I have gotten like a lot of fucking people like hitting me up to like work with them,
Okay.
and I'm working with these bands called the Keystones. They're like a cool like alt rock band from Milwaukee,
Okay.
kind of like Royal Blood meets Don Broco.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so they're definitely trying to go for like that aggressive like hard rock music.
Hmm.
And then I'm working with Fox Lake, which is like a really exciting like hardcore hip hop band.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of them. I'm trying to think. I've heard of a band with Fox, but I can't remember. It wasn't
I'll
them. Yeah.
send you the record if you want to hear it. Like it's fucking tight, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm down to listen to anything. Yeah.
Dude, it's really tasteful hardcore with really tasteful hardcore like or hip hop lyrics.
Interesting. Yeah. So kind of like Dropout Kings, or like more aggressive, less aggressive sounding sonically,
It's a
or
little heavier than hip hop or Dropout Kings.
okay. All right.
I don't know. You just have to like hear it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, with that combination, sounds like something you got to hear to know what you're talking
Because I
about.
sent it over to Milford, a few weeks ago, and he's like, "Dude, I'm signing them." I'm like, "Word, let's
Yeah.
go."
That's awesome. So,
And then
yeah, go
I
ahead.
also work with this band called Lone Wolf, which is a pretty small band from Ohio. Um, their numbers are pretty small right now, but they're like a new metalcore band.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. So,
I guess similar in the sense of like Cane Hill.
okay. Yeah, I love like Cane Hill or like Alpha Wolf, like those style of bands, kind of that new metalcore
Yeah, like
sound.
Cane Hill is like actually worked pretty close with Lone Wolf.
Okay.
And Cane Hill, like all those dudes are like one of my best, like all of my best friends. Like they're all fucking great dudes.
Oh, really? Nice.
And I actually texted Elijah the other day, the singer of Cane Hill.
Okay.
I was like, "Yo, your boys in Lone Wolf, just like hit me up to manage them." And he's like, in all caps, he's like, "Dude," he's like, "I've been wanting them to work with you."
Oh,
I'm like,
nice.
"Fuck yeah."
That's interesting because when I talked to Adam, who, by the way, you got us all in contact. So first, I want to ask you, like, how did you even find, us or this podcast or anything like that to hit me up to have Adam on?
I mean, I think you messaged me to hit up Adam, right?
No, you messaged me, so I was like very surprised. I was like,
Wait, no, you're right. You're right. Um, yeah, dude, I was just like on like an Instagram binge one night, and I think I just like found you.
oh, word. Well, hey, whatever works. I mean, yeah, because I was pretty surprised because, we don't really, I don't often get messages like that, especially from, somebody like you, a manager with Modern Empire. So I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Like, bro, like I'm a firm believer in like helping everyone in the industry
Mm.
versus like, the shitheads in the industry. I hope you're fucking listening right now. People that keep their fucking contacts, super close to their chest
Yeah.
and like, they're just like so goddamn selfish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I told you off air before we got on here. I mean, even us, just a small, a local metalcore band from New Hampshire, just in our local scene, man. There's still a bunch of it. It's crazy.
Dude, I'm always down to like help and like, cause like I've been put through the ringer for the last few years with like, trying to get in with like, a management company.
Yeah.
And I won't name names, but like I've had so many fucking managers, artist managers that have like fucking just like put me through the ringer. They'll like message me saying like, "Oh yeah, I want to put you on. Like I want to make you like, the next biggest manager in the fucking scene."
Oh
And
wow.
like, I start, chirping in like, like my creative input, like, whatever
Hmm.
response. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's a lot of BS artists out there, and it's sad. I mean, because like I said to you, like I mean, I haven't been very exposed to a lot of it. Like I said, but if it's anything like a local level, just more exacerbated, it's crazy. But yeah, when I was talking to Adam, he had said actually, because I talked to him about having like you as a manager and just a manager in general, and he said that typically a good manager will find you, but you're saying that bands are reaching out to you. So do you do that as well? Reach out to bands, or do you mostly have bands approach you?
So I feel like it's mostly more bands approaching me,
Interesting. Okay.
but definitely do my research, certain days out of the week. Cause like, I got my full-time job with Sex Panther.
Yeah.
That takes up a lot of my time.
Right.
I got to do like, errands and, shit for like the house.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, if the band's sick, like I'll fucking get behind it.
Yeah. So like, what is like what? Yeah, I was gonna ask you like what your process is for like bands that you get behind. Like, do you sit down and like what's your process to like kind of go through to see like is this a band that I want to represent?
So I do a lot of research and I look like at their fucking like, networks,
Hmm.
like, Insta, Twitter, Facebook.
Right.
Um, I think the biggest thing for me is like branding.
Yeah.
Like the brand has to be like, super on point
Okay.
just to make it look flashy for like, record execs and like, all these, people that, cause like, dude, I do not want to go into a conversation with a record label
Right.
when the band is not prepared.
I gotcha. So what do you mean by that? Not prepared? Like in terms of just
So
songwriting?
branding,
Or,
music
yeah.
videos, like socials, like all of it.
Yeah.
Music,
So when you
like the music has to be sick. The branding has to be on point.
right.
The socials have to be decent.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's just like, I mean, when it came down to like Fox Lake, when I started talking to them, it's like their socials are pretty shitty right now. But the record is fucking amazing, and
Hmm.
they're getting signed to a label now.
Yeah. Well.
So,
Yeah.
but they're definitely aware of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to get everything kind of like it's like an elite level. I mean, so you could have a band with like really good songs, but maybe they're lacking in the social media department, or maybe they're really good at the branding, but maybe the music in it is it's tough to kind of find that balance. So, but when you say branding, though, do you mean like like how they present themselves, like look wise, or like because obviously like they say like
Yeah,
you got to look the part.
yeah, look wise, like good logo, like, and also like the biggest thing that I'm like hard on is like branding icons.
Okay, what do you? Yeah, elaborate on that.
So I guess like for lack of a better term, like Attila,
Yeah,
they have their A.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, okay. So just something that you can see, like a Nike symbol. You see it and you instantly associate it
Yeah.
with. Yeah,
It's like, no, we need like the fucking band logo, but we also need the branding icon
gotcha.
to use for like merch
Yeah, yeah, because
and
yeah, no,
use for like, like fucking, album art, single art, like whatever.
yeah, absolutely. No, that's really interesting because like that's exactly what because us, like I said, a local level band here from New Hampshire. I was just trying to think of ways like how the hell can I get anybody to listen to us? When there's a million other bands out there, and so that's why we delved into like doing like the reaction videos. Trying to build up a brand that way, which has been pretty decent so far, as far as subscriber count goes, and also this podcast, because it's made it possible to talk to somebody like you or like Adam, or and to make those kind of connections.
Yeah, man. I'm always down to talk.
Yeah. So, so,
What else do you have on your mind?
yeah. So I was gonna ask, like what is I guess what is because I know that there's a lot of different roles that kind of go into like a band's team in terms of like a booking agent and whatnot. So like what
Sure.
exactly does the manager do? Like what is like your role with Dropout Kings? You do what?
Basically, I just like facilitate like the big picture ideas.
Okay.
So, I mean, the label's like taken care of. They do all of their, marketing self-sufficiently.
Okay.
My cat's like fucking doing some shit right now.
That's all right. My cat's right there. They probably see each other. Probably just want to hang out. They want to chat too.
Hold on one second.
See, it's funny. I tried to find a black cat for the longest time, and then I met this guy over here, and I was just like, I gotta have him.
Yeah, no, my cat's like literally my best friend.
Dude, I love this cat. He
Yeah,
meows
uh,
constantly though.
to my point,
Yeah.
yeah, like Dropout kind of relies on me for just like, bigger picture kind of things and like, having those talks with the label.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, and my other bands like, the Keystones, Lone Wolf, Fox Lake, they're just like, we have no fucking idea what we're doing. So like, you need to point us in the right direction.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, yeah, absolutely. And like, I sit there, I come up with a vision in my head,
Hmm.
and, I pitch it to them, and I think everything has been pretty good on that standpoint.
So has the role kind of changed at all with like everything going on with like the pandemic and whatnot, or is it still kind of just the same old, same old?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of changed a little bit.
Okay.
Um, like obviously we can't tour right now.
Right.
I mean, Dropout, dude, like fucking, like I'll just say this shit. Dropout fucking put out their record back in April,
Yeah.
and they charted on Billboard without support tours or any shows to support it.
Yeah.
And I blow them up like all the time. I was like, dude, you guys are fucking players. Like, you guys are fucking on point.
Yeah, because they have a sound that is just it's literally not like any. It's like Linkin Park souped up. Like it is
It's
like
insane. It's literally fucking crazy. Like, I was with them last night, was staging ahead of them, and I like, admittedly I got a little drunk, but like I was like, dude, you guys are literally fucking crushing it right now in the internet age of like the music industry.
yeah they are, and I think they are a band that had you not reached out to me, they're a band I wanted to reach out to regardless, just because of how they are, how they present themselves on social media. Because I think a lot of bands they kind of they do the whole like they post a picture of, and they say like, "Oh, San Diego, you were great." You know, they just post that kind of stuff, like very like I call it like press release Instagrams. You know, like very basic stuff. Whereas Dropout Kings, I mean, they have all types of crazy stuff going on, and they interact with everybody, and they follow a bunch of
But
people.
fucking like Milford like hit me up the other day, and he was just like, "Dude, what are you doing with Dropout Kings? Because they're like the top band on my fucking label.
Yeah,
All of
well,
my other bands are not doing shit right now." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, dude.
what do you
Pay
attribute
more
that to?
attention to us."
What do you attribute that to? Them being, you know, compared to the other bands on the label, like what do you think it is? What do you think sets them apart?
Dude, they're just like hungry. They're grinders.
Yeah,
Like, I know Adam very well. Like, I hit him up, on a personal call, every few weeks,
yeah,
and he's just hungry. He wants to see success.
yeah. He's a cool guy. I've talked to him after the podcast too, just about like online marketing stuff, and he's a super bright guy.
Yeah, and I talked to him last night too, and like we were just like having like a sit down conversation in person, and they're literally like the hardest workers I've ever met, and they inspire me to work harder.
Yeah, no, that's good. That yeah, I mean, because it must be easy for somebody like you managing a band that is just internally just hungry and they want it. Because you know, if you have a band that's not as hungry, it could be a little bit more of a pain in the ass. But with a band like that, it probably makes it easier.
No, and like I've had bands like come to me in the past like they want the fucking full ride, like they want to like get on a label like right away. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's not how it works.
So so kind of go into that a little bit because I think you know there's a stigma, you know, with a lot of bands where it's like, oh, if we don't get signed, we're useless. And what do you think about that? And I guess also too, like you said, in this day and age with the internet, you can do a lot of stuff on your own. There's obviously things you can't do, but what would be your advice to a band that you're managing to make that jump to a label? And do you think a label is like needed in this day and age?
I think it helps.
Yeah,
I think a label like Modern Empire definitely fucking helps.
yeah,
Um, but there's a very big caveat to that.
yeah,
I just need like, if a band is coming to me, like I need their fucking, like I said to you before, I need their branding, I need their image, I need their fucking music to be all fucking on point.
right.
Because I can spot shitty branding from a mile away. I'm just gonna say that right now.
So okay, yeah.
If your logo sucks, I don't fuck with you.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense though.
Yeah, like you need to like, dude, like okay, this is the biggest thing. You need to fucking invest in yourself.
Yeah.
You need to fucking pile up the money between you and like your fucking band members and hire a good marketing dude or a good branding dude to like fucking design all this shit for you
Mm.
and make you look like the fucking hottest fucking band on the internet.
Yeah.
It's literally all it is.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that you know Modern Empire. You know, I know that they're rebranded, but they've had a hand in a lot of big bands that you know we've all come to know. So I know like the Plot and You used to be, you know, way back, and then
That
Spite.
was Day Six first signing ever.
Oh, really? Yeah. No, I mean that's a hell of a sign. And then Spite, which
I
everybody.
was I was funny story. I was actually on tour with the Plot and You,
Mhm.
and Landon told me about that record signing before it happened.
Oh, really? That's funny. Yeah, he's a very talented guy.
Because I asked him, I was like, "Yo, man, like, when's the next record coming out?" And he goes, "Oh, we're putting up through Franz's label,
Oh, wow.
Stick Records. It's not even announced yet. Don't tell anyone that." I was like, "All right, word."
I got you. No, it's because I mean I think so. What is it that from your vantage point, you know, of being you know closer to a label? Because like you see certain bands on certain, you know, especially there's certain bands on certain labels that kind of come up, they rise up, and there's other bands that kind of stay in like towards the middle or kind of like don't become as popular. And what do you think that is? Is it just, the songs from the band, or what do you think it is?
I think it's just like it comes down to their presence on social media, to be honest.
Okay.
Because like, a band like Varials,
Yeah.
they're not like the biggest band, but like they stay very vocal on social media.
Yeah.
And they say some shit, like, on Twitter that's like, really funny.
Right.
They like relate to like, the Twitter community.
Right.
So I feel, I mean, just, I don't know. I don't know. It's a very convoluted, conversation.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I don't, it can't. It's not just like a money thing, right? Like, does it? Do you think it reaches a certain point where no matter how much money you throw into a band, it's just not going to work, or it's not going to be as successful as this other band, or?
But yeah, I don't know. I think bands just need to be persistent, like, on their networks,
Mhm.
and just engage with their fans, like, fucking like, reply to like every single tweet that gets sent to them.
Yeah, that's such an easy thing to do too.
Because I feel that, say like, someone's replying, like say I'm replying to all of your tweets, on your band account.
Right.
That's going to make me feel way better to like come to a show that you're
Oh
playing.
yeah, absolutely.
And it's going to make me be like, tell all my fucking homies, yo, you need to come fucking see this band.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so true, because what we did, we do, like I said, we do like the reaction videos. And I know some people think they're kind of, goofy or silly videos or whatever, but that's neither here nor there. But what we did is, because obviously right now can't play shows or anything like that. So what we did is we pretty much set it up to where, that if you buy a piece of merch from us, you can come on and do a reaction video with us that you request. So, I mean, that right there, that right there creates that connection where I know for me, right? Like, so like I'm a fan of Amir, right? So, and we had Frankie on this podcast, which was cool. But anyway, like if he had something going on where
You're
it was
gonna
like,
love this Fox Lake record, by the way.
what is it? What's that?
You're gonna love this Fox Lake record.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if it's anything, I'm a huge
You're
Amir
gonna love
fan.
this.
Yeah. No, you got to send me it, man. I'll definitely, I love that, just like down tuned aggressive stuff. But I mean, if Frankie had any, yeah. But I mean, yeah, like if Frankie had any kind of thing where he was like, yeah, if you guys do this, you can come on and hang. Like, I would be like, yeah, I'll definitely do it. And I think it's like the coolest thing ever. So like, why do you think some bands don't do that though? Like respond to an Instagram comment or respond to a tweet, and they kind of stay like mysterious, that kind of thing.
I like atone that to like, what Mike said to me, like, a few months ago, like once COVID hit,
Mm-hmm.
he's, dude, Dropout Kings is fucking grinding harder than any of my fucking bands right now.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when we first started as a band and we like posted some random thing, and I remember that actually their band account liked something. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I was like, it probably was just like an Instagram, journey there, and they eventually just stumbled across it. But I mean, nonetheless, it was like, oh, that's cool. Like, it got me to follow them back, and it just keeps building up that social proof, if that's what you want to call it. But
For sure.
But so I'll get you out of here in a little bit. I know they got some stuff you got to do, but what I wanted to ask you was, for a band, that's kind of at the point where they feel like, all right, we really want to have a manager at this point. What should you look for in a manager, and what kind of questions should you ask?
I guess like what I look for, like what I said before, is like, just having all of your shit together.
Yeah.
Like having, treatments for like music videos plotted out, your branding, like a good vision, just being realistic about, like, everything that, you want to do.
Yeah.
Because like when I take on bands, I'm like, dude, I can't fucking pop you off like literally like tomorrow. I can't.
Yeah.
Can't and I won't do that. But but at the same time, like I just look for like hardworking fucking motherfuckers that just know their fucking band and they know their fucking brand.
Yeah.
Like you need to fucking create a brand. Like dude, like even like just, like think about like fucking Bring Me the Horizon. Like fucking
Yeah.
they created their own fucking merch line, their own fucking like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think about that kind of shit. I'm just like, dude, like no, that's what you need to do.
Yeah. Something that's like, yeah, I mean, Bring Me the Horizon, they've managed to switch
Even, like
genres and stuff.
even if you're not huge,
Yeah.
it's like you need to act like you're huge.
Yeah. Kind of like the
Just
fake it till you make it kind of thing, or
kind of,
yeah.
but that doesn't really work in some
Yeah.
cases. But I know what you're saying, though.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So like, what would you say, like, you know, being a manager, like, what are some of like the common like misconceptions that you see, like, when people kind of, if they discuss like what a manager does, like, what's a misconception?
I mean, sometimes I kind of get put in the position where I'm doing a lot more than I need to be doing.
So like, give it,
So
what's an example of that?
I guess like on the publicity side
Okay.
and like playlisting and like all that shit,
Oh,
and
okay.
like definitely not my job.
Right.
I mean, I've done it for Dropout Kings, and I'm glad to do it for them because, like, you know, they're my fucking bae, like my bays.
Yeah.
They're my babies. But other than that, I, like I said, like I fucking just I'm here to like just do like you know the big picture kind of situations,
Hmm. All right.
and
Yeah.
if they have like a tough question that they need answered, like you know they can hit me up.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, okay. So that, yeah, that makes sense. So you kind of, sometimes you find yourself kind of doing more than what, you know, the job entails, kind of thing.
Yeah, and like I'm not like mad about
No,
doing it,
right, right,
but
right.
like you know, it kind of takes up a lot of my, you know, time that I need for like, you know, other jobs that I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm fine to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, that makes, yeah, no, I can totally understand that. So I'll get you out of here with just another question or two. So the one thing that I've always
So
been curious about with, you know, it was, you know, Stay Sick and now Modern Empire, is that what it seems like is that a lot of like the new bands, they start off with an EP. And then is that kind of like the structure? You know, bands come in, they drop an EP, they kind of see how it performs, and then go from there. Is that kind of the structure?
yeah, I mean, with the label, we definitely like to open up with like an EP
Hmm.
just to see how it does
Yeah.
because you know Mike likes to do 50-50 deals,
Okay.
and you know it's like one-offs too. So it's not he doesn't wrap bands up in like a fucking you know 5 record contract.
Right. So explain for people listening who might not know what a 50-50 deal is.
Oh, it's just a 50-50 split. Like you know when the band recoups the music budget, you know they start making money.
Okay. Yeah. So what I want, so because obviously like this will be the last thing. It kind of, it ties into the whole EP album thing, because like I know that there's a big kind of push now toward, you know, going the singles route, especially for, you know, like a developing kind of a band.
I don't
Um,
like singles anymore.
you know,
No, bad for distro.
so do you think that bands should really stick to the EP album formula, or what do you think?
So what I think is bands should start, you know, releasing singles, you know, maybe like, you know, once every month,
Yeah.
but leading up to like an EP or like full length like, you know, release.
Okay.
Basically, I think bands should be releasing music 12 months out of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it's kind of like, unless you're like a big band like an As They Lay Dying, where you can be silent for, you know, literally like 10 years, um, and come
Like
back.
fucking people like Beyonce, like that, they'll just like drop like a fucking movie. It's like based around their fucking record, like whatever. Like I think like metalcore bands should be dropping content
Constantly.
at least once a month.
Yeah, no, I agree. So that's kind of like the rhythm that my band's got into, where it's like every like 2 or 3 months we've been trying to release a single. Because like if we released an album and like out of nowhere and then didn't release anything else for another year or two, it's like everybody's gonna forget who the hell we are.
Yeah, exactly. And like, dude, we're like really fucking fortunate with oh shit, the Dropout Kings EP,
Yeah,
Glitch Gang, and I mean, it just cleared like 1 million streams on Spotify
yeah, I
like
saw
2 days
that.
ago.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm pretty stoked on that. But we had a talk with like Milford last night, and Adam was saying like, dude, we just like want to release more shit, through the label,
Yeah.
like constantly. I was just like, dude, just fucking do it.
Yeah, because Adam told me that when he was on the podcast, they have like something like crazy, like 40 songs, like not like ready to be released necessarily, but like skeletons of
Yeah, he
songs.
sent me like all those songs. They're fucking crazy. They're amazing.
Yeah, so I wonder. So, is that kind of why a label doesn't kind of do like a like there's an EP or album deal? Is that why they don't do like single deals, so to speak, is for like distribution purposes?
Well, what I've heard from the label is distro is like pretty shitty for like singles
Yeah.
versus EPs.
Okay.
So that's literally all I know.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, Dropout's gonna be putting out some pretty fire shit pretty soon.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we checked out. I believe it was Glitch Gang. We did that like a reaction video for that. It was just like it's not like anything I've ever heard before. It was just chaotic and just wild.
Yeah, dude, I was at that video shoot. It was literally insane. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that they probably get a lot of grief from like, the metal, purists and stuff like that. But
honestly, not too much.
oh, real? Okay. All right. Yeah, cuz Adam was saying, he was like, yeah, pretty much what happens is that if somebody comments on something like, "Oh, this is trash" or whatever, he'll comment back and say something. They're like, "Oh no, man, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it." Cuz like, it goes back to replying to the comments. But
So, like any like close friend of mine that like listens to Dropout Kings, like they'll like hit me up and be like, "Hey, I just like listen to your boys. Not my thing. They're fucking blah blah." I'm like, "That's your fucking opinion, dude."
yeah. Yeah, I mean, stuff isn't for everybody, right? Like, I mean, like I said, I'm a big fan of Amur. I definitely know that they're not for everybody, and that's just the way it is. But
No, I mean, I tell every single person that fucking backlashes at me about Dropout, I'm like, "Hey, they're gonna be the biggest thing in metal pretty fucking soon." So
yeah. So I guess I'll get you out of here on this though, man. I know you got some stuff to do. So like, what can we expect from Dropout Kings moving forward? Like anything that you can touch on, or?
I don't know who's listening to this right now, but you could expect a single with Denzel Curry pretty soon.
No way, really? Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I just said it. So
well, you can
Adam,
tell me. You can tell me if you're not.
sorry.
No, if you're not, you can tell me, and I can work some magic around.
We're trying to work some shit out with him.
That's cool.
Other than that, like I don't know, just pumping out fucking singles, and
Yeah. All right. Cool, man.
I can't, dude. Honestly, like with touring being shut down, like
Yeah, that's gotta suck. I know that the guys in Dead Crown who I'm wearing a shirt right now, but for those that aren't watching the video, but I know they had a big tour canceled, and that really sucks too.
yeah, no, Dag Crown are my boys. Shout out to Brighton and Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall's he does all of our artwork, literally. Like if you like all the single
Dude,
artwork.
Kendall actually stayed with us for AVN in January. this year.
Oh, really? Yeah. So that must have been the party he was talking about when he was on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right, man. So other than Dropout Kings, go ahead and like just say the other bands that you're representing and anything else you want to plug before we let you go.
The Keystones, Lone Wolf from Ohio, great new metalcore band. Definitely check them out. They don't have like a lot online right now, but we're working on some really fire shit right now. Fox Lake, if you like hardcore and hip hop, that's your fucking ticket right there. That's all I got.
Well, yeah, man. Make sure to send me some stuff. But other than that,
I'll send you the Fox Lake record.
Cool. Well, other than that, though, man, thanks for coming on and thanks for talking. I think this will be really cool for some people to listen to and kind of really, we interview a lot of band members, so it's nice to interview somebody who's kind of, part of a band's team, like a manager. So,
of course, I mean, if I rambled a bit, like, don't hate me for that.
No, it's all good, man. You had some really cool, really cool stuff you had to say. But again, man, I really appreciate it, and I know you have something to do tonight, so I hope you have a good time and you stay safe out there, man. Don't get the COVID.
I'm about to listen to some Saliva. So.
Oh wow, what is this 2003, man? What's going on? But,
sure is.
All right, man. Well, thanks again, Bill, and talk to you later, man.
Late.
Thank you so much if you made it to this point of the podcast. We really appreciate it. Both Adam and I do a lot.
Very much.
Make sure, if you want to support the podcast, head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and a review. And also make sure you share this podcast wherever you can. Unlike music, which we are more so used to promoting, these platforms don't really do a whole lot to help podcasts be promoted. So the only way to do so is to, like I said, share it, word of mouth. And also, if you want to support us even further, like we said, we are a band called TrueShot. Stream our music, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to music. And if you want to support us even more than that, we have a merch store, TrueShot.BigCartel.com, where you can go to pick up some merch from us. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.